infrastructure, we provide PPP advisory services, sale of properties in Nigeria and the UK. We inform, educate, and inspire positive infrastructure delivery outcomes. Our faculty members cut across industries and sectors assembled from many parts of the world to enhance infrastructure delivery in Nigeria and Africa in general. You can watch and follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you need infrastructural help, you can reach the lead consultant via telephone on +234 808 439 1140. That is +234 808 439 1140. We are here to help you. We simplify infrastructure delivery through a combination of modern techniques with improved indigenous methods. Dr. Infrastructure provide optimized solutions for infrastructure delivery.
Today we would like to discuss how to carry out due diligence during pandemic. As you can imagine, resource regionally scarce, but it's even more so now during pandemic. In today's program, we would be addressing the conduct of due diligence. I have outlined three main areas of conversation this evening, which include an outline of how to carry out cost-effective due diligence during pandemic using Dr. Infrastructure Toolkit with 50 data elements. Number two, we would like to demonstrate why due diligence is even more critical now than ever before. Number three, I will show the audience the steps to take to enhance PPP and property project implementation using due diligence as resource optimization technique. That being said, we would like to start the conversation with what are resources. Resources are scarce, and it is even more so during pandemic. The way we live has been altered significantly as a result of COVID. Business leaders must look at how to optimize resources, use partners to deliver goods and services. Business disruption is prevalent in many areas, such as sources of raw materials, distribution channels, PPP executions, property sale and purchases. Before you commit resources, it is essential to carry out due diligence to minimize uncertainty and risk. What is due diligence? Due diligence may be described as the investigation or an exercise of care that a reasonable business or a person is expected to take before investing, acquiring new business, M&A, that I mean merger and acquisition, entry into a new market, or even entering a contract with a third party, or buying or selling houses. What are the types of due diligence? A typical due diligence would involve legal, financial, and technical. At other times, it may simply be legal or finance or technical due diligence. How do you carry out cost-effective due diligence during pandemic? Business uncertainty has increased. Most businesses use partners in the downstream of their businesses to push product and services. In PPP, by that I mean public-private partnership and property development, you need reliable vendors and technical support to deliver superior values. We believe it is time to be proactive by conducting due diligence to reduce business risk, selecting new partners or vendors, sourcing new raw materials, exploring vertical or horizontal integration, business acquisition, entering new markets, developing new product, or starting new projects are contingent on the qualities of your partners. Therefore, to enter into a partnership involves risk. Due diligence helps to reduce risk and offsetting. Globally, it is recognized that Africa remains one of the regions with the highest growth rate. Also, it has some inherent risks. For example, in 2001, the Nigeria telecom market was liberalized. MTN invested in Nigeria after carrying out stringent due diligence. Today, MTN's profitability has grown beyond measure, thanks to the Nigeria market, with a population of about 200 million people. To exploit the full potential of any market, due diligence is critical. We are here to assist you to achieve cost-effective due diligence.
Dr. Infrastructure, we provide PPP advisory services, sale of properties in Nigeria and the UK. We inform, educate, and inspire positive infrastructure delivery outcomes. Our faculty members cut across industries and sectors assembled from many parts of the world to enhance infrastructure delivery in Nigeria and Africa in general. You can watch and follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you need infrastructural help, you can reach the lead consultant via telephone on +234 808 439 1140. That is +234 808 439 1140. We are here to help you. We simplify infrastructure delivery through a combination of modern techniques with improved indigenous methods. Dr. Infrastructure provide optimized solutions for infrastructure delivery.
Haven't given the synopsis of what due diligence is, what it does for business as a resource optimization tool, how it also helps businesses to reduce risk and uncertainty. We will not go into the toolkit, and essentially we'll be covering three areas of due diligence, which include legal, finance, and technical. At Dr. Infrastructure, we have a team of experts who have the experiences and the skill to deliver these types of services. So we will begin the conversation in looking at due diligence with legal due diligence. What are the areas in the typical legal due diligence, or what are the areas you cover in a typical legal due diligence? This will include, but not limited to, corporate structure and general matters. In such a case, you want to find out incorporation documents. In some cases, you may want to look also at the organization chart of the company you are dealing with or you intend to deal with. For larger organization corporations, you want to look at stock option agreement, if there's any, register of shareholders, recapitalization or restructuring documents, minutes of board meetings, shareholders meeting, and executive committee meetings, agreement related to sales and purchases of businesses. The second aspect regarding legal due diligence would be taxes. You want to find out the historical income, tax liability, and payment by the companies you are entering into a conversation or you intend to enter into agreement with. You want to look at the company's compliance with federal, state, local, and foreign income, sales, and tax returns. Because you don't want to carry liability, once you've entered into a new partnership. You want to look at correspondence between the organization and other foreign or local legal entities. You also want to look at government audit, if there have been any. Some company may have done something which require government to come and audit them. You want to see to what extent the person you are entering into contract with or you are entering into a business relationship with, to what extent is the person compliant with government regulations. You want to look at if there are any net operating losses and if they have reserve. Then the third part of legal due diligence would be what is generally called strategic fit, because this talks about whether there's cultural differences, the kind of culture that you want to enter into. You want to look at the future performance and strategic plan of the organization. You also want to look at current profitability of the company you are entering a business contract with. You want to look at their human resource optimization, human resource deployment. integration and transitions. You want to look at their marginal cost. You want to look at technology and corporate culture. Then, of course, the fourth element would be intellectual property. You want to look at patent, copyright, trademarks, domain names, trade secret, license, and licensing agreement with other third parties. You want to look at IP litigations or claims, if there's any. And you also want to look at if there's a lien on the occurrences on the company's intellectual property. The number 5 element, you want to look at material assets, which will include assets and liability, inventory stock, real estate, equipment, technology, and of course research and development. You want to look at existing contract as well. You want to be able to review the company you are entering into a business relationship with, whether they have existing contract, whether there's going to be anything that has to do with contingent liability. You want to look at their customer and supplier base. You want to look at the schedule of account receivable or payable, because this brings about contingent liabilities. You want to look at guarantees, loans, and credit agreement, partnership agreement, joint venture that the company is already into. You want to look at leases of any type, agreement of any type, non-compete and exclusivity agreement if the company does have any, license agreement, distribution and sales agency and agreement, employment controls. There are so many other types of legal due diligence which time may not allow us. So I will now go straight to finance diligence. Finance due diligence will include, but not limited to, you carrying out assessment of their income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, and footnotes. That means you basically have to review the audited account or financial statements. You also want to look at their plan versus actual results. That is to say, you are doing an analysis to see to what extent has the company deviated from their previous plan in the past, and what measures we are taking to correct those deviations, whether it's a favorable deviation or negative unfavorable deviation. You want to look at management account. You want to look at their sales analysis report. All this constitute part of finance due diligence. You go further to look at payable and receivable analysis. You want to look at the financial projections with assumption. What kind of assumption gave rise to their existing result? You want to look at major growth drivers. What is driving growth within the organization? You want to look at risk management plans, industry and company pricing policy, budgeted capital expenditure, shareholder structure. You want to look at schedule of debts and loan, off-balance sheet items, analysis of financial performance, working capital analysis if they do have any, business continuity plan, or if they have disaster recovery site. Then, of course, for today, we'll be closing our conversation around technical due diligence. Technical requirement is typically essential in an environment where the company runs heavily using technology or using equipment to drive their business. So in such case, you want to look at the technical architecture of the production line, if it's in a production capacity. If it's not in a production capacity, you want to look at if they are heavily relying on software or other applications to drive their business. You want to look at the technical team that drive the business, the engine of the business. You also want to review technical expenditure and plans. You want to look at schedule of technical equipment. You, of course, also want to see the technical equipment analysis, which will give you information about the aging of the equipment, their depreciation, if they have a CK fund, or they make some reserve for purpose of replacing equipment.